Okay, time now to move into action. And let me tell you about my guests for today. Awal Mohammed is a member of the National Communications Team for the New Patriotic Party. Awal, it's good to see you this morning. The last time, of course, our conversation was very heated. And so I was really afraid that, well, he wouldn't turn up again. But he's done that. It shows the courage in him and ready to march against harassment, as his party says. His party says there's too much harassment in the system. We'll get into that for you shortly. Stephen Atubiga used to be a member of the NDC. Now he's the founder and leader of the National Liberation Congress.
Yes.
Are you going back to the NDC soon?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I have a party. You have your own home. Why go to another place? But, you know, in politics, there's always an alliance.
I see. Yeah. Alliance, he likes to call it. Strategic one, of course.
Yes.
Steve, it's good to see you this morning. And then he ran for president. Unfortunately, Ghanaians did not believe that the dual police should be broken, but he still believes in that idea. And I'm talking about Kofi Krantin, who is the 2024 independent presidential candidate, joining us this morning. Kofi, it's good to see you. It's been a while.
I know. Congratulations. Love your show.
Yeah.
Obviously, the powers that be heard, and but we proud of you, Blessed. We're proud of you, and we think this is going to do well.
It should. How is life treating you after the 2024 elections, by the way?
Life is life. Disappointments. Disappointments. A lot of disappointments because you see what goes on in Ghana. I mean, I just came from Circle.
Yeah.
And when you take a look and you travel around, which I have traveled extensively, the CBD of any capital city tells you the state, the mind of the leadership. Go to Circle. You get to Circle, that's the state of the government in Circle. Homelessness, sick people, no order, filth, noise. The whole place is broken down. So it's sad to have to see this constantly. Everywhere you go, there is a glimpse of things not being done well. You go to the ministries, toilets are not working. There are no bathroom tissue. Faucets are broken. Handles are... I mean, who runs this country? You drive on the street, potholes. I'm just coming through. I'm like, how do you get these... Abosokai, I don't know how long it's been since you've been there. They put up a new dual carriageway, highway, and the extension of that is like we were in Afghanistan for a war or something, like craters in, why? I mean, what, how do we think as a people? It bothers me.
Right.
It bothers me. And, Ghanaians, of course, we're not at the point where we could question these two political parties. So it's the circus continues.
We wait to see what more inroads you'll be making in the next elections. The belief is you'll be running again, I believe.
We'll see.
Okay, let's see about that. Anyway, so let's get into the items for today. Should we start off with the harassment of NPP members? Is that the case? Well, help us understand why you were on the streets earlier this week, led by your national organizer, and your national youth organizer was also a part of that. Your claim is that the NDC is harassing members of your party. Why?
Thank you so much, and good morning to our cherished viewers and my co-panelists, and thank you so much for the opportunity. I am a member of the Bawumia campaign team. Dr. Bawumia just finished his tour of the Eastern region yesterday. And he is doing it in a cluster, meeting constituency executives, former party executives who are voters and so on. And some of us are also on the grounds working for him. We are upbeat that it will be an endorsement, not less than 80%, inshallah.
80%?
So, yes, that's what we're anticipating, inshallah. Yes, it is true that you as a journalist will even attest to the fact that the high-handedness in which the police is really treating some people within the MPP fraternity is something that we can say that it belongs to the 90s, because it was in the 90s that you see someone speaks on radio or writes something, then the person is hauled as a criminal. The last time I saw that, even though I read about it, was in 1998 when Malik Kwakubako and Alhaji Harunata were jailed for 30 days, and they were all like criminals, just like Abronye was really taken to court. That was how they were taken to court, with handcuffs. And that was the reason President Kufuor in 1998, after he got the endorsement, said he will repeal the criminal libel law. A journalist must not be treated like a criminal. There must be a decriminalization of free speech. And indeed, after that, President Akufo-Addo as Attorney General did that. So we're hoping that if someone defames you, I am against insults in any form or shape of anyone, not even a public officer. And I had never done that in my entire political life. And I will not do that, and I will not endorse that. But there is no way in our laws that says that if I insult you, I can be arrested by a police, handcuffed, and sent to court. It is not in our statutes like that.
Tell me which of the cases is a classical example of harassment of your party members?
Abronye.
Really?
Yes.
Because he supports Dr. Bawumia?
Note that Abronye's crime was that he spoke against the IGP. And shamelessly, look at what the judge said, that we're not equal before the law. A judge who was due for retirement can even attack the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana that says that we're all equal before the law. Used dictators, people who had history of killing people, to really justify why he's incarcerating Abronye just for free speech.
Which part of the charge sheet says it's because Abronye criticized the IGP, that's why all these things happen?
The charge sheet says that he made some incendiary comments.
Yeah.
So incendiary...
But not against the IGP, is it?
Against the IGP.
I mean, which part of the charge sheet says it's against...
But why was he arrested? You are a journalist. You tell us, why was he arrested? He was arrested because he said something. He said, the IGP is the dumbest he has ever seen. And there's nothing wrong with him.
You support that statement?
I don't support any insult in any form or shape. But I'm saying that if really it is the... You see, if the police is telling us that this is the standard process now, for instance, look at the way they arrested Yaira Abiu and the Fante Comedy, because of the things they said on, they didn't even say it, but they used their platform for people to say it on their TikTok platform. Just like you offering us this platform and we say things. Then you go and arrest them. After arresting them, you put handcuffs on them. After putting handcuffs on them, you did video and pictures of them. Gave it to NDC communicators to publish before you published it on your Facebook page.
That's where I don't want us to head to, is it? I mean, you're such a fine gentleman. I'm not sure you're endorsing all of these activities by these people.
I am not. I'm saying that if the police had arrested, I'm just telling you how the police arrested Yaira Abiu
is
and
the NPP not politicizing this too much? Because there's no part of the charge sheet which says, well, this is about the IGP. This is about so and so in government.
So let's leave the charge.
Yes.
I'm saying that if someone...
But you deal with the charges. So how then do you know it's because someone in government has been offended or the IGP?
So I'm coming.
Yeah.
So if someone makes an incendiary comment and the police think that the best thing is to arrest the person, and they did that with Fante Comedy. They went to, say, Obama's house because he published something on Facebook. They went to his house, broke his door, took him out, and so on. They did all these things and brought them. So if this is the standard practice the police is telling us, we're saying that why is it that Chairman Azoka stood in Akwatia and said that if he had met the minority leader, he will cause a by-elections in his constituency.
Again, for the record, Chief Azoka, we understand, by the Ghana Police Service, has been arrested. He's been discharged for now. The case will continue.
So that is the reason we're saying that there is selective justice in this. Because you could go to Abronye's house looking for Abronye. Abronye turned himself up. You arrest him, put him in Black Maria, bring 200 police. I was in court that day, over 200 police officers, just to guard Abronye for a misdemeanor charge. You understand? On the same day, when we were calling for the arrest of Azoka, the police issued a press statement without even publishing Azoka's face.
But almost all the MPP guys, they arrested them, put handcuffs on them, and published their faces. They gave the faces of these people, especially, say, Obama. We saw his face with handcuffs on NDC platforms before we saw it on the police covering. How did they get the picture without covering? I saw it on Ejiji Tamakulu's Facebook page. Ejiji Tamakulu is the director of legal for the NDC. How did he get that picture? Before the police came and covered the face and published it on their Facebook page. So we are saying that if you arrest Abronya, if you arrest Obama and publish them on your Facebook page, what prevented you from arresting after arresting Azoka? Post him also on the Facebook page to tell us that you have arrested him.
Okay, so what do you want the president to do now? Because you're asking the system to work. So if you want the system to work,
we're demanding what do you want the president? One is that decriminalization of the free speech. We shouldn't criminalize free speech because it's a serious affront to our constitution. Again, we think that Azoka, we have to get details of when he was arrested, because even the day he was arrested, they said they arrested him in Koforidua. They said they had granted him bail. Few minutes after, his boys did a video in Tamale where he was sitting in his famous base that we should ignore what the police had done. And the police did not also tell us which court he was going to. Look at the case of Abro Kumanov. Is it not a shame as a country that people assault some people, group of people? After the assault, they were not arrested. When we called for the arrest, later they told us they had arrested them. Their pictures were not published. The people they assaulted were not invited to even come and identify whether these people assaulted them. Then the next thing we heard was that the police had issued a press statement. There was no journalist in court that day. They only issued a press statement that they had fined them 6,000. Do we even know whether they are the same people? If you want to engender confidence, the best thing is that publish their faces and say they have been convicted and so on. So that the video I have, the one you have, will be able to reconcile and see whether they are the same people who did that. But because they are NDC people, they decided not to do that.
I don't want us to go to, because if you go there,
we will have to go there.
But if you go there, people will remind you of what you did when you were in power as well.
What did we do?
Look at the records.
What did we do?
Some bloggers were even abducted.
Who?
Right?
Which a blogger was abducted?
There's no need to mention names. But
no. I'm saying that. I'm saying that if you have arrested our people,
some online newsrooms.
What we are calling
some online newsrooms were raided. That's what we had. That's what we had.
Which online newsroom?
Oh, I mean, there are a replete of cases that we had.
I mean, the
reason why I'm not mentioning names.
I mention names and I mention.
So let's go with the Bongo Ideas, for instance, case, right?
Yes.
That was a classical example.
Was he treated the way Abronya was treated?
Really?
Was he did they put handcuffs on him and put him in a black Maria that is supposed to be used to arrest hardened criminals?
This gentleman disappeared.
Disappeared at where?
You didn't have issues with that?
Where? The police can arrest you.
Were you in the country at the time?
If this is the, I'm saying that.
Yeah, and that's why I don't want us to go there, because you are politicizing the conversation.
I'm not.
Pointing out to the fact.
I'm saying that.
This is what the NDC.
5 of our people were
will be quick
arrested.
to remind you of what
5 of our people were arrested. They were handcuffed, and they gave us details of where they will be going to, the courts, the days, and everything. They told us they had arrested 2 people, Abdul Wahab, who threatened to kill Anodompre and some few Nanabi and others. According to the police, they have arrested him and granted him bail. We do not know where they arrested him. We did not know which court he was going to. We don't know which court.
So let me give you the last example before I bring in the others.
So you're not interested in that? I'm telling you that.
I'm interested in that. My concern with you as well.
And they were published.
Yeah, why are you being selective? Why are you being selective? Let me give you the most recent example. The party members of yours who were online threatening to kill the first gentleman of the land and the first lady.
Allegedly, you are a journalist, so use that word.
Okay. You didn't see the videos?
You're writing your story. You
didn't see the videos? You didn't hear that?
They are not guilty.
I get that. Okay.
Yes, they said they're not guilty. No one is guilty. until the person pleading guilty.
You believe that?
Or
you believe that?
I believe that. Or until the
so you support the comment? You support the comment?
I don't. They said they are not guilty because you see,
this is not about guilt. This is about what we've seen.
I watched the video.
Yes.
Fanti Comedy did not utter any of these words.
I'm not saying.
Fanti Comedy came
that's
back
why you're being selective. I'm not talking about Fanti Comedy. I'm talking about the individuals, the specific individuals who were on that platform. There's one lady in it. We're not.
Akosia Jollof.
Who?
She's not a known face. She's in the UK.
So are you justifying?
We don't know her. They arrested Yaira Abiu on the perception that she was she was Akosia Jollof, and she was not. She is not Akosia Jollof.
Oh, my goodness.
I am saying that the standard practice must remain.
Okay.
If you think that someone makes incendiary comment, you can arrest him, put handcuffs on him, send him to a court, bring out a press release, show us where he is
going.
And
give him a V8.
No, almost all the things.
And give
then
him a V8.
Do that with DNDC people you said you have arrested.
Okay.
That is the reason we're saying that. We don't trust the police that they have arrested Azoka. We don't trust that they have arrested the gentleman from Abuakwan of Abdul Wahab. We don't trust because almost all the cases that the police had arrested people, they publish it on their Facebook pages and tell us the dates and everything. When they brought out the press release of Azoka, they did not tell us which court Azoka is going. So that you journalists independently will go and verify. And that is the issue.
To be honest with you, I don't have, qualms with your party demonstrating and petitioning the president. It's just about the comments. That's why I'm surprised. You're endorsing some of these comments here.
Oh, but you see,
okay.
From onset, I said that I don't endorse any incendiary
just to be clear on that.
But I'm saying that there is nowhere in our statutes, in our books, in our laws that says that if I insult you, you have to arrest
our laws
me with
respect
the police.
Customary laws, right? So that
I'm saying that
inherently brings us
we have
to the point where we should respect
criminal libel law as at 2001. You as a journalist should not be called as a criminal.
Yeah.
They should only, he can sue him for a civil suit. When
but not an arrest.
You remember when Jojo Bruce Kwanzaa of the Palava newspaper, you remember when he said Adokufo was part of those who killed some women in the 1998-2000. By then, the criminal libel law was repealed. Adokufo went to court, went for a civil suit, and Jojo Bruce Kwanzaa's media house was sold to offset
in the case of the president,
the amount of money. And that was what we did. This is as of 2004 or 2005.
Yeah, but this is what we want. In the case of the president, that will not be legally possible. He can't stand trial. He can, be a party to a civil.
So, but the state can do that.
Okay, let me bring in Steve. I get your point, Steve. So that's the difficulty I have, right?
Yes.
With these political parties doing same to each other, depending on who's in power, who's not.
Yes, I think that we politicians and all political parties in this country are all guilty of what is happening. We can pretend to be ostriches and try to score political points, but I think the freedom of speech in this country, it's more than any other African country that I know in terms of speaking your mind, saying what you want. But we should be cautioned. There's a wisdom and a reason why in the Constitution a caveat was put in place for slandering, slime, and libel. Okay? For the fact that there's freedom of speech, the label is being repealed or whatever, doesn't mean that we could say anything. And the best person to arrest, for the fact that you've been arrested doesn't mean that you are guilty. The only institution in this country that can arrest anybody or can go arrest a citizen per our Constitution, whether you are wrong or right, you have the opportunity to write your statement. The police institution has the right to see whether it's a civil. They will direct. It's not, I don't see any institution that will see whether it is the police. They see the investigation. And the police have the right to also come and, yes, it's been repealed, but you cannot come and sit on air and say maybe the president, with your indulgence, forgive me, that your president is stupid, your president has no sense, your president is a thief, your president...
Yeah, but he says it should not be criminalized.
And I'm saying that for the fact that it's not being, you will still be arrested.
No.
I'm coming.
It should be civil suit.
I'm saying that the police, the institution, the police the military, all those security services, the national security, the BNI, all those institutions play certain roles in the society. For the fact that you cannot, it's not a crime. I mean, slandering somebody can be emotional. Listen, people, it can
destabilize the state.
Yes, it can
but for the mere fact that you're telling us this morning,
yes,
that you all do it as
we are all guilty,
including your political party. Maybe the NDC and the NPP all do this.
Every
that's an acceptance or an admission of the case that the NPP is making.
Registered political party.
We have a provisional. It's registered. We have a provisional certificate.
That's fine.
Right.
We are left with some few offices.
Yeah. Let's not digress.
No, I'm saying for the record, we are a registered political party. We have a provisional certificate. We have structures just like the NPP.
I get your point.
We have.
Steve.
Yes.
You don't have a certificate.
We have. What is
Let's leave that.
It's like
Steve, you are admitting.
If you are given a learner's permit, let me say no. If you are given a learner's permit to drive,
you are not a driver.
No, I'm saying that you have been given permission to drive.
Okay, let's move on, gentlemen.
When you go through,
let's not digress. Steve, the point about the admission that all political parties, whenever they get their chance at power, will do this. It's an admission that the NPP does have a case, right?
I'm saying that.
You agree with them that there's harassment going?
I don't agree with them in the sense that for the fact that they say freedom of speech doesn't mean you just go out and saying whatever you want. And I'm saying that what they are doing, it's a lost priority. You are protesting to the president to do what? There are other institutions. The president is not making laws. There are so many institutions in competition. I'm saying that. I think for the fact that
the Ghana Police Service is the head of the Ghana Armed Forces and all the security and intelligence agencies. The president has power to direct, the approach of the police.
I'm saying that
security agencies.
That is why we have the institutions. We have the Ministry of Interior. We have all the institutions with ministers and what have you. Anybody could be a president. But the fact that you are a president doesn't mean that anybody will just get up and just demonstrate, knowing very well the MPP themselves should be guilty. Okay, whoever comes, you must come with clean hands to demand what you never give.
Are you saying because they are NPP members, they are not in power, so they shouldn't take their consent?
They are all guilty. When they were in power, we saw similar. Are you getting me? I think it's about time we put the political lens out of it and understand that for the fact that I'm MPP, for the fact that I'm NDC, for the fact that I'm NLC, any little thing we want to politicize in this, that is where we are today. If we start speaking at Ghanaians, condemning that, look, for the fact that there is freedom of speech and there is a window that you could say certain things that you think you should not be respected, should not, other countries, even when you say certain things against the president, you are arrested.
Steve, let me scare you a bit. I've heard from senior lawyers in this country who say it's not a crime to insult a president.
It's not.
It is a crime it depends on, I'm saying that.
Yeah, I'm saying that. You struggle to answer that.
It is a crime.
I've heard lawyers, and I'm just saying, I'm not endorsing insult. I'm not endorsing, disobedience or civil unrest.
Slandering.
I'm just saying that some lawyers have argued that if you take a look at our statutes, the Constitution, and other laws that we have, there's no portion where an insult, not even against the president, is a crime.
I'm saying slandering is a crime. Slandering, slime, and label that he said that is being repealed. But slandering is a crime.
But that's why he says, why not make it a civil process instead of this, excuse my language, Rambo style, having the police chase people around. Why not a civil suit then?
That is why I'm saying, as a country, every president, I'm giving an example, has to be protected by the state institutions. It is his right as that we have to protect him. For the fact that you can insult a president doesn't mean you get up. Like, you remember when they said, His Excellency late Atamil? Somebody insulted him, compared him to a monkey or whatever, excuse my language. For the fact that you have the freedom of speech to say that, it doesn't mean there are no institutions that will not act. We are in a country governed by the Constitution. I get so some insults affect people emotionally. Okay, if not, that's civil suit.
But here's the thing, and some leading figures, key figures in the NPP are the ones raising it or even leading this. You had, I think Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia had even condemned at some point the attacks on some of the NPP members. That's how high up the concern is. So it's not just a concern of, say, the national organizer or the NPP's youth organizer. This is a collective party position from the largest opposition party.
I am expecting NPP to say, look, we are guilty of doing that. There's a change of government. We don't think we should continue this. So that when we get the opportunity to take power one day, we'll make sure we don't cross certain lines. It's fair. But for the fact that when MPP is in power, we'll find political, we try to score political points by labeling, insinuating, exaggerating certain things. We are all in this country. We saw what happened. But look, nobody has been insulted in this country more than His Excellency President Nana Addo and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. There is no leader that has ever been insulted in this country. And one thing I always say anywhere without fear is that I like President Nana Addo, he has never responded. And I like His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, he has also never responded.
They don't have a choice today.
No, but I'm saying that.
I mean, you're the president, you can't.
No, you are running a country.
Yeah,
if you are running a country, you don't have time to be listening to what people, and nobody will ever love you. Nobody will ever see anything that you do. And there's nothing like a perfect government. There's nothing like a perfect election. But all political parties are trained.
If we are to make progress, why not condemn these actions now, just to indicate how strongly you have a reservation about the police service going after these individuals?
Well, every political is a party that gives birth to a government, and when a party, unfortunately, when political parties are in opposition, they reason very well. They have the best sense, the best wisdom. Immediately they take over power. It's a different story. They will tell you that, yes, once you are sitting on the seat, you have to dodge the potholes differently. And I think that, just as I know we've not gotten to that topic yet, everybody drinks water. Are you petitioning the president about the galamsey? Yeah. Who does it? Until we Ghanaians, including the political parties, start accepting that we are guilty of destroying our own water bodies, because the president has appointed the DCE, the president has a minister, and the community, they have an assemblyman, so the system they have a chief, not necessarily the system. Yeah. Somebody gives the land to people to mine.
We'll get to illegal mining shortly.
Okay.
We'll get to illegal mining shortly.
So in terms of what the demonstration to the president is a lost priority.
Okay.
I should see them. Somebody can also go to, you can petition. You have, look,
we started by petitioning.
You have access to the minister. You have access to the police. You have access to the minister than the president. So if the political party, you see, we are in a country that political party think that we should hang certain things at the neck of the president. Okay? Forgotten that, for example, if we are able to hang corruption on the president, they hang corruption on President John Dramani Mahama's neck. When the reality dawns in, it was a perception. Certain people, that it was a perception.
Look,
and every politician is corrupt. Unfortunately, in this country, I'm a politician. Every politician.
That's not correct.
I am telling you.
There is no single MPP person who has been jailed for corruption. Since 1992, it has never happened. So it is NDC people who are corrupt.
Every politician.
It is NDC people who are corrupt.
NDC is
That's true. That's the fact.
I'm saying that
we have arrested and jailed not less than 14 people who are NDC people in this country. If not for NDC,
I can also sit here and say, I can also sit here and say the judiciary, also wore political lens, and that is where we are.
Let's not go there. Let's focus on dealing with this IGP issue, and then we'll move into some other areas. Kofi, are you corrupt, by the way?
Never will be.
I see.
Never will be.
Say you've not gotten the seat yet.
No.
When we talk about corruption, it's not only taking the money. Those sponsoring you, your businessmen, your financiers.
I'm glad you brought this up. Right. Thank you very much. But that's why I'm not a president.
And those following you, to make sure you're a president, you have to take care of them.
No.
It's part of the corruption.
No.
If you have a girlfriend, it's corruption. If a woman bleaches, corruption of the skin. So corruption is not, if you put wig, you have corrupted the hair. If you wear high heels, you've corrupted your height.
Kofi, that's the scope of corruption. It's quite wide, isn't it?
First of all,
Go on. If you corrupt your mind to vote, it's part of corruption.
Let's give the chance to Kofi then. Yes, Kofi.
I just
no, you certainly don't have.
I don't have a wig on, right? So we can
settle.
But
yeah,
blessed.
yeah.
The parameters for the ethical and moral code of Ghana for Ghanaians have been destroyed, decimated by these same guys who shouting, help, scream, whatnot.
Harassment, they say.
Whatever you call it.
Yeah.
These guys caused it. So now it's sad for me to sit here and listen to them because they waste too much time on stuff that does not matter. We have a youth that we need to elevate. We have a country we need to build and develop. And this is how they waste their time on stuff that doesn't matter. Listen, I'm totally against not having some type of decorum in communication. But who started this nonsense? They did. And it's drowning them. And now they're screaming, hey, we want this order. The NDC does it. MPP comes and repeats it. Everybody wants to come in and edge their opponent out.
Two wrongs do not make right.
No, it doesn't.
They want us to move forward.
So blessed, my focus is if we do this thing and we build it well, properly, with competent leaders who have character, we wouldn't have to go through this nonsense. I promise you. You know, take a look at the caliber, the character of the people we're talking about. Oh, this person got arrested for saying this. Look at them. The 760 billion cedis of debt to GDP over 85%. Look at where the prime rate is. Look at where, did you check the CD, where the CD is this morning?
Yeah.
Pumping over $4 billion into a Forex market that hasn't yielded anything except for uncontrolled dollar, uncontrolled CD. And it keeps getting worse. And we don't have anything. I've never gone to a show where the MPP, NDC, or all these other political parties are sitting down fighting, knocking heads about what is the best strategy or what can we do to eradicate corruption.
Okay, before we get there, the point about making the Ghana police a bit more independent, do you support that? Because some say, for instance, you had some of the NPP members say, Awal has repeated that the reason why there's an onslaught, allegedly, as he wants us to use the word, why it's happening on members of the NPP is because the IGP is insensitive to criticism.
The best IGP this country has ever got.
Okay, so
best IGP.
So
Steve, I'll come to you.
So a couple of things, Blessed, and look from my perspective, and I think a perspective that makes more sense than any. Who was last in power?
It was the NPP.
The NPP.
Yeah.
Did they not have a chance to change the Constitution so that appointment of an IGP does not come directly from the president? It comes from a public service
commission.
Did they not have the
chance
to do that?
Is that what you support? Is that
absolutely? So that your loyalty does not go to the person who appointed you. Your loyalty goes to the people. I mean, how simple is that? But they won't change it. They want to wait. They come to opposition and then complain about, oh, the IGP did this.
But how about the issue of trust, right? If you are the president, or if you were president or elected president, I mean, you'd want the IGP to work closely with you, someone you can trust, because there's national security implications.
That's correct. But there is a code for which you work by. You see, and this is why I keep talking about, excuse me, but the MPP and NDC are clueless. They don't know what they're doing. And I'm serious when I say that, because you can, listen, Blessed, the truth of the matter is we can say all we want. The MPP could, talk all the nonsense they want to talk. NDC could talk. We have the record. The record bears them out. What does the record say? The record tells you we have, the NDC took us from 9 billion to 122 billion. MPP took over from 122 billion to 670 billion. Yeah. The biggest statistical increase was for NDC going from 9 to 122, correct or correct?
You've seen the infrastructure.
What infrastructure? Circle Dubai? Are you blind? What schools?
You don't know, do you know Binduri?
Oh, listen.
Do you know Nalerugu?
Okay, so hold on.
Do you know Gambaga?
No. Listen, let me tell you.
Do you know Jasekai?
Don't interrupt me.
I'm not interrupting.
Okay,
We're having a conversation.
No, I'm not having a conversation.
Is not Accra.
Okay, so just hold on.
Ghana is not Accra.
Let's give
Ghana is not Accra. I'll go to the internet and see the infrastructure.
Relax.
I'll appreciate it.
Yes.
Okay, I know you're working for the NDC and you work for. So relax. So let me go explain to you how it works. Right. The way it works, so maybe you haven't traveled out of Ghana, so you wouldn't know.
My brother, I stayed in the U.S. for 17 years. And our own companies, the Eagle Shipping was mine, Palace Home Improvement
so you don't understand.
I was a rail. I created jobs in the United States.
So that, we bring in the audience.
Because, there is a way that a country is built.
Yeah.
You start with housing, healthcare, education, employment, telecommunication, transportation, security, recreation, retail.
These are fine things on paper.
No. Wait. Let me finish. Let me make my point.
Yes.
So if you don't build a country like that, then you would have isolations and potholed development. And so he's talking about, have you been to this place? No. Well, if we did and it worked, we wouldn't have the debt that we have now.
Okay. There are more homeless in abroad than in Ghana.
Okay, let's get into the weak argument the audience.
Yes, there are more homeless.
Yes, introduce yourself and let's
don't compare yourself to any country.
Ghana is very good.
Yes.
Okay, I want to ask the NPP some questions regarding their protests. I want to ask you that were your people really informed about the original purpose of the protest? Because there were videos on the social media where people were rather promoting illicit drugs. They came to the protest because they claimed that the government is arresting them because of the sale or the dealing of illicit drugs. And also,
I think I've seen some of those videos as well on social media, right? Some were not even aware of why they were there.
Exactly. Right. And there were some
didn't know what kind of...
Some could not read, yes.
And there were some young ladies that they stated it very clearly that they were being deceived indirectly to be there because they were being told that they were going to take them to a meeting, but they ended up being at the...
Yeah. We'll use that word, reportedly, yes.
Absolutely. Right. And also, I want to know the stance of NPP and the government's policies or initiatives to stop illicit drug, because if their own people, since there's an MPP protest, and since MPP people organized the protest, I assume that those that they were on the grounds of the protest are MPP members. So if MPP members could boldly speak about their dealings with illicit drugs and all that, what is the stance of NPP with the government in dealing with illicit drugs? Yeah.
Okay, great. There's a gentleman behind you.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, let me use this. Mr. Bless, thank you very much. I'm in the person of Achulu.
Yeah, it's good to see you again.
Yes. First of all, let me respond to what my sister said quickly before I move to what I have to say. Our National Youth Organizer, Salah Mustafa, boldly spoke against drug abuse and all that. So if she wants the evidence to that, she can go and check it on his page. And let me make a pivotal and a fundamental point that the New Patriotic Party is in no way against accountability. Our challenge is a mode of execution and intimidation. Permit me to quote Martin Luther King Jr., where he said, "Our lives begin to end the very day we become silent about the things that matters." And he went ahead to talk about the power of our voice, where he said it's our weapon to use against the oppressors and intimidation.
Yeah, but what were you when it was happening to the others?
That is basically what the new political parties seek to achieve. We marched on the street to register our displeasure about some of the things that are happening. And I'm very happy. I'm very happy that Honorable Stephen Atubiga is here, and then Honorable Kofi Cranton is here, because their own colleague, Honorable Kofi Apalu, was a victim. Today it might be Honorable Kofi Apalu. Tomorrow it might be Honorable Atubiga or Honorable Kofi Cranton. So let's speak against this in all modesty and humility. And I must say, and then end that the political persecution must end now. Thank you for your attention.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Shandolph Bright, yes, and I am very surprised at the posture of Honorable Stephen Atubiga. In fact, in His Excellency John Mahamed's first term, he's one of the persons who were very loud on some of these issues. I'm surprised at his posture, and he's trying to make as in a comedy out of the whole issue. I feel that, yes, we in the NPP, sometimes we need to be sincere. On the issue of, with the instance of Abro like this, I think we failed as a party to call the shots. We should have prompted him on some of the excesses in his submission. But having said that, the truth must be told, and we need to establish that when it comes to dealing with persons in that regard, we need to be fair to all. We shouldn't embark on that selection of justice, no. Because that kind of... No, because...
You're all guilty of that political parties.
In fact, worse things were said under Nana Akufo-Addo's era. We have our own Sami Jemfi, Mali Basintali, other people. In fact, the former president was accused of murder. It's public knowledge, it's there. We never heard anybody being arrested or put in that Rambo style of arrest. All that we are saying that let people face the law, but then it should be done properly, not selection of justice, because when you invite the chairman, that is Mr. Lakazoka, in that private way, in a very cool manner, same should be done to Mr. Abro, even though we do not condone that kind of utterance that he made to some big people in the country. Right. But then the fundamental point needs to be made that he, whatever punishment that there is to A must be done to the other party. That is the same thing that we are saying. Right. Yes.
Okay. Okay. There's one gentleman behind you. So let's give him the opportunity, or we'll do the one to your right or your left, and then we'll get
okay. So please, my name is Prince Owusu. I'd like to respond to my brother. He was talking about Salam Mustafa saying that the MPP, the NDC has been harassing the MPP has been harassing the NDC MPP state appointees, former appointees. And then my question is that back in 2013, back in 2012, when the same Salam Mustafa was criticizing the then president, Professor Evans Atamos, may he so rest in peace, when he was criticizing me with insult and then propaganda, the MPP was in this country. They never said anything about it. There wasn't anything against it. Why is it that they are complaining now?
But don't you feel we should? But don't you feel we should make progress?
I feel we should make progress, but they shouldn't act like they are victims. They are not victims. They are very hypocrites. They need to stop their hypocritical statement and then their behavior outside. We saw during the demonstration whatever they did. It wasn't very good. It was uncalled for, especially those people that they brought on the grounds to demonstrate. Most of them weren't even aware of the situation when they came. These things must stop. We must stop using using the vulnerable people in society for our own political gains. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll do the gentleman behind you, and then we'll come to the one in the blue. Yeah. Or probably the one in the blue should take have his take, and then we'll do the gentleman behind you.
All right. My name is Haruna Osman, the majority member of University of Ghana Parliament House. So I want to touch on what my colleague said about accountability. Yes, so he was saying MPP does not fear accountability. But why is it that whenever they are called to come and account, they hesitate to show up unless we go for them?
Example.
Example. What's his name? Your finance minister. That's one. He was called. He never came. So I don't think what he's saying is very true. Whenever they are called,
justifying going after the people.
Yes. Whenever they are called to be account, they hesitate to show up. That's why we go for them. And when we go for them too, they complain.
Okay. Anyway, right. There's someone behind you. Give the priority to him, and then you can make your intervention after that. Yes.
All right. I am Emmanuel Samoji. I want to speak with regard to the insults and arrests and whatever we're talking about. I want to speak from common sense perspective. The speakers have said that there is no law in Ghana that criminalizes insult. But I want to ask this question. If somebody, are we able to separate the insult from the consequence of the insult? The insult itself possibly may not be in the law that warrant arrest. But have we considered the emotional aspect or effect of the insult and what would have caused? Now we're talking about the issue here. Brett, there is no insult. There is no law that justifies, that somebody should be arrested for being insulted. Now, if I insult you, would you be angry? Would you have the cause to get angry because I've
obviously that's why we're talking about emotions now. Yeah.
Now, when you get angry, would you slap? Now, when you slap, would that be an issue that will call for arrest because that is an assault? Is an assault a criminal? Is criminal in this country? So we have, MPP, NDC have probably not been able, they are running away from the truth because they will not be able to separate what would have resulted from the insult itself.
I get it. So that could destabilize the
you get an idea. So we should be able to look at that, even though there's no law that says that somebody should be arrested for being insulted.
Right.
What would have caused could be an issue of what? Criminality. And for that matter, we should be able to deal with that. Abro says so many things that probably you look at and realize you don't have to say that thing to even your worst enemies. But that is it. But I feel that the way NDC also went about it was also not making the whole thing complicated for people.
Okay, thank you. Bright, let me give you 30 seconds. You'd have to be fast and snappy about that. You wanted to say something. Yeah,
mine has to do with the issue of the police. I think I don't have any problem with governments coming in and appointing the new IGP and everything. I think even in the US, like it happens, Trump comes in, appoints people that he feels can work with. But then within the same sector or the police, they need to maintain professionalism. You've gone through training. You are there to serve the state, not to serve the government. And if you are there to serve the state, regardless of whoever appoints you, you need to have exactly. So that is my
point. Okay, thank you, Bright. Gentlemen, I want us to talk about illegal mining, but not before. I want you all to have your take and respond to some of the issues.
It is not everyone there who is an MPP person. I did the publicity myself. I put it on my Facebook page, on the Twitter account.
Yeah.
And I said that we called on Ghanaians to come and join. So you do not have control over the things that people say there. It is unfortunate, but if my sister is minded, on my Facebook page, when you had your demonstration last year, I posted someone, the first time I heard the name Pokeke, I don't even know. He said the tramadol and the Pokeke is now expensive. He wanted to check use the tramadol to check.
So you've seen those
I'm saying that this is under the NDC. No, it's on my page about last year when they had it. That's what I'm saying. That when you organize a demonstration like this, you call on Ghanaians to join. You do not know who is joining.
I'm saying that, did you pay people to come up, to show up, just to show up?
We didn't pay anyone to come. But the only thing is that there's no one who lives there. They will all have to travel from where they are to that place.
Okay, so
and
you supported them.
And that happens. Even you here at joining, if you're doing procession, and there is the need for you to even put bus somewhere, you put the bus somewhere and bring the people there because they cannot walk there. I live in at Ofanko. So I cannot just walk from Ofanko to Circle to start the procession. I have to be in car and so on. But we did not pay anyone to come there. We invited Ghanaians, and those there are Ghanaians. Fortunately, they also, some spoke Chi and so on. It is unfortunate that you have people who are into drugs coming to join. But this is not the first time. You have covered demonstrations over time. You see all manner of people with the reason why they are there. I saw a video which I posted on my Facebook page. A lady said she joined the protest because during the Akufo-Addo's time, she will sell, at least in a day, she sells ice kenke, 120 cedis. But today, she can, it will take her 2 days to sell even 80 cedis. And that was the reason she showed up, to demonstrate. But that was not the reason for the demonstration. We did the conscientization. You granted us all the interviews. Yeah. We told them the reasons. But some people decided to show up to vent their spleen on different things.
So it wasn't the fault of the NPP?
No. But we will have to apologize for all that had happened if really it didn't go well, because we organize the people. For instance, you inviting people here. Yeah. You do not know what they are coming to say, even though you know that they will be able to have given them the topics, but someone can just go off the topic and so on. You will have to rather apologize. So we apologize for anything that happened that is untoward. But I think we had a very successful protest. If you from school, when you do activism and so on, you will understand the challenges of putting thousands of people on the streets, and they are able to really go march to the police, march to Jubilee House, and there was nothing that happened except the interviews. It tells you that it was very successful than the other processes that had happened before.
You feel social media perhaps might have been the cause of that?
Exactly so, because I did a lot of publicity on my TikTok account and on my Facebook account, just inviting people to come and join. Right. And you also did same by giving us the opportunity to say it, that we're doing it on this day and so on. So from there, people watch on TV, some see on social media, then they join. Again, when you go to Circle is a den of, unfortunately, of people who are in drug abusers and so on. Some will join because they know that definitely you may even bring water or food to really come there. So it's unfortunate, but at least the police will have to also try and see if they could really wipe that thing around Circle.
Yes. Steve, there's a question for you.
Yes. I want to talk about what my brother said. In politics, there are certain communique or certain statements. It becomes a party stand that they tell the communicators, go out there and take this stand and make such statements. And we also have political communication assassinators. They are being taxed to go out there and take a stand at certain. I'm being real, right? Because we've been there, done that. When there's going to be a demonstration, it's a party structure, and the party structure has constituency chairman, organizers, and what have you. The party brings in money. They put vehicles at all vantage areas. Even they have to bring people from other regions. Depends on what they want to do. And their accommodation, their food is being taken care of. But they don't look at your education, your structure, how you look, whether you are on drug. That is your personal business. Political power, political votes, or people vote. Once you are sound-minded, you have been registered as a voter, the party cares about getting your vote, not how you look like, not where you stay, what you eat. You're struggling. It's after when they get victory. And everybody have their followers. Politics is like the churches. You remove your shirt and that this is your political party, you are naked. People will come and follow you, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, I'm taking him back to 2012. The MPP party took a stand. That's where we had Sir John. We have those telling the judges that your family should prepare their funerals. They should start buying their coffins. They will kill.
Some judge did. Listen, he didn't say that. It didn't come.
I'm saying that it was. I've not assessed Sir John and all communication. My brother, they said that we also
they should prepare their coffin.
Yes, the judges. I don't know. I'm saying that that is how they hold us at the court. Sir John was held at the court. Yes, everybody saw it on TV. Yes. And then I also made a statement. I took a party. I also made a statement, and I went in for 3 days. It was. You have to. I'm just being real as we are dealing with the youth. So there are certain statements, and my whole party came out and made a statement that they stand by everything that I said, because the judges were scared. The judges couldn't take decisions based on the threats that was coming on. We also took a stand.
Do you regret those statements then?
I never. When we go back to those eras, that circumstances where NDC found itself, I don't regret it a bit.
With all this, and they want to excommunicate you from this.
My brother, it is what you can do for your party, not what the party can do for you. That is why I actually got led, including some leadership of the party that are even holding positions that will protest for them to do reform in the party. Today you see young men getting appointment. Today you see that the party has become so attractive that you don't need a godfather to hold a political position. Everything that we accused the party leadership and the Session John Dramani Mahama for not doing it, he has fixed it. the party has become more attractive.
Okay.
And based on that, today in this country, everybody is comfortable.
Right. Great.
There is peace in this country.
I
I mean, if you look at the stress, nobody is rich. But in terms of relief, every Ghanaian is feeling the good leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And also, there is no country that is more beautiful, that is more stronger, that is more a place that we should live than Ghana.
I get it.
Yes,
Okay.
that I agree.
Kofi,
But Ghana is not what you are saying.
some
It is
comments
today.
in the audience for you. You want to deal with that, and then we'll move into the legal mining conversation.
To tell the truth, I'm disappointed, okay? And my disappointment comes from the fact that, and if I were president today, we will ban the influence of political parties to the youth in terms of academia, going to schools.
Oh, you don't want the political parties to have their youth
Do
wing?
not mingle, leave them to free thought.
That's why they are here.
You would have disbanded Tain Tescom?
They had their convictions. A reason they joined Tescom.
Please do not interrupt me.
No, we're having a conversation.
Okay.
Nothing personal.
No, it's not personal, but it's very upsetting to me because I know how Tain and Tescom influences the students by giving them gifts and offering them positions.
But they are voters, though.
Of course they're voters. That's why you have to leave them alone.
Without inducement.
Let's allow
Okay.
Kofi to make a point. I'll come back to all of you.
And the reason that is because they haven't done what they're supposed to do. If they were furnishing the institutions, the tertiary institutions, with all the needed things they needed, then they wouldn't have to go in and influence and have to dilly-dally. And
how then do we grow the political future of this country? Future leaders, how do we
I didn't see that in Singapore. I didn't see that in Qatar. I didn't see that anywhere else in the world. I didn't see that in China. Go and look
Qatar
at
is not a democracy. How democratic is Singapore?
No. You see, the bottom line is this is what
How
you guys
democratic are these countries?
Singapore. Let me make the point. Let me
the
make
president
the point.
stayed more. They stayed more than 8 years.
Exactly.
West.
How democratic are these countries that you are comparing Ghana
Let
to?
Kofi make the point, and then
you talk about this. This is not democracy. When you go to Circle and you find 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds begging, holding your...
The same is in America.
Oh, my God. Where did you go in America,
No,
man?
if you go to Los Angeles, if you go to North Carolina, some are even walking butt naked, no shoes in the countryside, my brother.
First of all, it's a choice. It's a choice.
It's not.
It's a choice. Listen, I've been to LA. Everywhere you're talking about, I know. Okay, it's a choice.
So what's the point?
The point is, we need for these governments, and certainly not the MPP and DC. Like I said, we have a record that they have failed us, and we need for the youth to start thinking about their future, how they're going to meet their aspirations, and bring in someone who's going to build and develop this nation.